Hello everybody from CONSOLFOOD 2025. My name is Irene Lucas. I'm here in Vienna. I'm at Art Space Tosomia, and I will present you the paper prototyping a solar canteen for the schoolyard. We will also connect with the people, my colleagues from Murcia, Conci Meseguer and Monica Candela from Erasmus Plus Project EduLands. Thank you for your attention. The Solar Canteen project took place at the Lernwerkstatt Brigittenau, a public school in Vienna, between the 17th and the 27th of March 2025. This school has a partnership with the Lernen unter Sternen, an association called Learning Under the Stars, which rents a house with a garden in the Stockerau riverside forest in Lower Austria. The aim of the Solar Canteen project was to set up a solar cooker workshop in the garden to accompany 2 weeks of outdoor workshops, where the pupils cooked for themselves. The menu was planned the day before, and the food was prepared in small groups. The aim of these workshops is firstly to equip the school with a solar cooker workshop laboratory, to introduce 2 types of solar cookers: high-tech professional cookers and low-tech, low-budget cookers built by the students themselves. It was also important to combine the practice of solar cooking with other alternative forms of food preparation, such as fermentation and sprouting seeds. The first introduction to solar cookers was through 3 cooperative games to get to know the group and to explain the 3 types of materials that are typically used in the construction of solar cookers. The basic principles of solar cooking: reflection, transparency, absorption. These hard skills could also be considered like soft skills, attitudes that the students could develop for good cooperation and teamwork. So we have material qualities that we need for solar cooking devices to cook: something to reflect the sun rays, something that lets the light pass through while retaining infrared rays, and something that absorbs and insulates the heat. And we have the soft skills we need for good collaborative work: to reflect on the qualities of others, to see what others see in us, to absorb, to collect energy and knowledge, to be aware of it, to be transparent, to communicate clearly. One of the possibilities we see in solar cookers is that they are devices that allow us to show both the physical and aesthetic properties of materials. But in the prototyping of a solar canteen for the schoolyard in our project, we also introduce art, as well as develop activities that promote collaboration and teamwork between the pupils. Solar cookers connect with the environment and are therefore exceptional for reflecting with students on geographic topics, the surroundings of the school, the politics of food production in our societies, and the edible garden at the schoolyard. To explain the possibilities of solar cooking, we have drawn 2 maps, one on the solar thinking system and the philosophy behind the project, and the other on the circular system of combination and adaptation to prepare a solar or low energy menu according to weather conditions. During the 2 weeks planned, we were able to cook on the 7th of the 9 days that the project lasted. I mean, to cook with the sun. On 3 days, when the sun didn't shine, we were able to start a jar of sprouts and prepare pesto with wild garlic leaves from the forest. We also took advantage of these days to make cardboard solar cookers and show how to assemble a parabolic cooker and vacuum tube cooker. During these 2 weeks, we were able to cook different dishes to accompany the main menu, which was prepared in the main gas kitchen or one day outside on the bonfire. The students organized themselves into small groups of 4 to 6 students who took turns with the task in the kitchen, the solar cooker, the garden, and the vegetable patch. In this way, all the students got to try out the different stations and learn how to use the cookers, the solar cookers in this case. The aim was also to combine cooking with vegetarian and vegan dishes. The solar cookers were activated by the solar cooking group every day at around 10:30 a.m. and lunch was served at 12:30 or 1 p.m. After the break, we spent an hour or so preparing the solar food for the next day. We were able to boil rice, polenta, lentils, fried falafel, sweet potatoes, mushrooms, tomato and garlic sauce, courgette and pumpkin. We were able to bake gluten-free pizza-style seed bread, chocolate cake and muffins, raspberry cake with cereals, lemon and rosemary shortbread, pea compote, pumpkin strudel. We were able to roast sunflower seeds, peanuts and almonds. We were able to melt chocolate with banana and orange, ferment a jar of carrots with cabbage, something similar to kimchi but without the spicy. The pupils didn't want to make it spicy. We were able to make energy balls with dates, sunflower seeds, pumpkin seeds and apple jam, sprout lentils, chickpeas and beans, many of which were eventually planted in the garden. This allowed us to experiment with a form of cooking that consumed less or no electricity, was done outdoors connected to the environment, worked with a different perception of time, both in terms of preparation and food experience, made different food combinations not linked to the production of animal products. Our conclusion: the simple act of going out into the schoolyard, looking up at the sun, down at the shadows, and checking the temperature of the food and the movement of the sun over the 2 weeks was an experience that connected the students with the environment and their immediate landscape. We can achieve with solar cookers in educational settings, in addition to enriching the horizon of possibilities in an experimental kitchen that is closer to uses of eco-social transformation. That is why this project is linked to the EduLands project, and which seeks to be a platform that connects resources and initiatives with an emerging movement for eco-social transformation. A platform with resources in the form of educational activities that helps teachers, students and families to transform the school environment and connect their outdoor spaces with the landscape and the neighboring eco-social initiatives. EduLands learning experiences in the form of teaching guides, explicit methodology to be included in the educational curriculum. You can also submit a project application on the homepage of EduLance. With this application, any teacher or eco-social agent can include their own learning experience on the web and transform it into a visual teaching guide. Then you can also submit yourself as an eco-social agent. So Conchi Meseguer is a colleague from us living in Murcia, and she has also started a project about solar cooking and handcraft. This is also our network between Vienna and Murcia. Thank you very much.